Antiviral pharmacology is continutive. In the very first lecture, we talked about the anti-influenza pharmacology, and in this lecture, in the second lecture, we'll be talking about the anti-hepatitis pharmacology. Before we commence the lecture, before we start the lecture, I want you guys to know a very interesting point which are going to help us to understand this entire lecture in a very easy way. First point will be the replication pathway. I will be talking about first about this replication, how this hepatitis virus is going to infect the hepatocytes and then replicate itself into multiple copies, then how those copies are releasing and going forward to infect other new hepatocytes. Means in short, we'll be talking about the life cycle of the hepatitis viruses. Now what do I mean by the viruses? We have number of viruses, okay, number of types are available. We'll talk about the types. First, let me clear these 2 points. Pharmacological targets. Now this replication pathway will be with respect to pharmacological targets. We are not going to explain the entire pathway of the hepatitis virus. We're just telling people about the very shortcut pathway which will just help us to identify the pharmacological targets. If we know about the pharmacological targets, then it will be very easy for us to understand the mechanism of actions of the drugs in the pharmacology. Okay, so let's start this easy and conceptual lecture from the very first point, replication pathway or the life cycle of the hepatitis virus. As a moment earlier, I mentioned that there are the types of the hepatitis virus. Now, how many types are there? We have A, B, C, D, and E. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 types of the hepatitis viruses are available. Now they all are same but just having a little bit differences. If they're having the differences, then how they are same? Obviously they're not same. Hepatitis B virus is different from all. Now what is the difference here? Very simple difference, that is the genetic material. Hepatitis B virus is actually DNA virus, and rest of the viruses are actually RNA viruses. And still there is another difference available among these viruses, that is in the hepatitis D virus. Now what is the difference here? Again, in the genetic material, this hepatitis D virus has got RNA which is different from the RNA of hepatitis E, C and A. Now this RNA is negative sense circular single strand RNA. Number 1 point is that this hepatitis D virus has got negative sense RNA, and number 2 different point is that it has got circular RNA, whereas ECA they have single strand straight RNA. Now a question might be arising in your mind that what is meant by the negative sense circular RNA. You might be knowing about the circular RNA, it is circular, but what is negative sense? We'll get the answer in the first point, replication pathway. Let's start. Guess what? Here we got DNA and RNA viruses. As they find hepatocytes, on that they will specifically identify first of all the receptors for these viruses. Then these viruses, by means of their GP spikes, glycoproteins, they will attach with this receptor. After the attachment, there will be the endocytosis. This virus will be internalized. Now, as the endocytosis completes, what will happen? Then this virus will uncoat and there will be the release of the DNA and RNA. If it is hepatitis A virus, C, D, E virus, then there will be the release of the RNA, and if it is the B virus, then there will be the release of DNA. What will happen if it is a DNA virus, hepatitis B? The DNA will be released. Then this DNA will go towards the nucleus. And remember that every virus has got number of enzymes with it when it is entering into the particular cell. What happens now? This DNA has got integrase with itself. Integrase indicates integrate, means it is going to integrate, join, fuse together two DNAs. One is the viral DNA, another one is the host DNA. What will happen then? As the integrase integrate, then one DNA will be synthesized, which will be the fused DNA. And you guys know this point very well, that a DNA which is present in the nucleus, then that DNA undergo the process of transcription to synthesize messenger RNA. Then that messenger RNA will move towards the ribosomes for the translation into proteins. Means at the end, then proteins will be synthesized. Okay. And what happens next? We'll tell you people about the next steps. First, let us know about the RNA viruses. Guess what? If this uncoating releases the RNA, Now here we'll be having the two types of the RNA. One positive sense, another one negative sense. Now here comes the answer that you people are waiting for. Positive sense RNA is different from the negative sense RNA in a sense that this positive sense is having the ability to go directly towards the ribosomes and it will be translated into proteins. Means the proteins will be synthesized from it directly. As it is released after the uncoating, it will move towards the ribosomes where it will be translated into proteins. At the end, proteins will be synthesized. Whereas the negative sense RNA is not able to go directly to the ribosomes. Then how it will synthesize its proteins? Very simple. First of all, this negative sense RNA will move towards the nucleus where it will synthesize its complementary RNA. Now then this complementary RNA is able to come to the ribosomes for the translation into proteins. So what is negative sense and positive sense? Positive sense is able to go directly to the ribosomes as it is released, whereas negative sense, if is released, that is not able to bind to the ribosomes directly. First of all, it will undergo the process of complementary RNA synthesis. Then that complementary RNA will be able to come to the ribosomes for translation. At the end, whatever the virus is, whether it is RNA virus or DNA virus, at the end we'll be having the protein synthesis. Okay, protein synthesis is common in all. Now what happens here, now these proteins are all those proteins which are required for a particular virus. And some of the proteins, very important, like DNA polymerases and RNA polymerases. These are actually responsible to synthesize the genetic material of particular virus. If this virus is a DNA virus, so what will happen at the end, these proteins will be having number of proteins. In those proteins, some proteins will be like the DNA polymerases. They will be responsible to synthesize DNA. At the end, what will be available? Then proteins plus DNA will be available. Then those proteins and DNA will assemble. After the assembly, they will be packed into copies. Okay, specific copies will be synthesized. Then those copies will be freely available to release from this host cell, and then those copies will find further more hepatocytes, and then they will infect those like this. They will again undergo the process of replication. They will synthesize their copies, and again they will release and it will infect other cells. So like this cycle continues. Now what happens if it is RNA virus? Again, the proteins will be synthesized. Some of the proteins will be RNA polymerases, which are responsible to synthesize RNA. Now what will happen then? These proteins and those RNA will assemble. After the assembly, they will be packed again, and like this again they will be released, and the story is the same. As they are released, they will find new hepatocytes and they will infect those new hepatocytes. Again, the replication pathway will remain the same. Now the point is two, that is the pharmacological targets. I will clarify this point in the pharmacology here. We have got interferons, Limburdine, Adifovir. Now these are the drugs classes approved, and we do have some other drugs also which are used to treat the hepatitis virus. But these are the most commonly used one, okay? And those which I'm not mentioning here, those are actually given in combination with these drugs. Now these are the drugs. Now what are the targets? Very simple. Interferon will target the RNA. The pharmacological target is RNA, and it might also target the proteins. And here I have written is enhancement of the phagocytic mechanism. These interferon have got multiple functions. They're responsible to denature the RNA, destroy the RNA, and they're responsible to denature the proteins which are synthesized. And they're also responsible to increase susceptibility of this particular cell for the phagocytosis. Because of this interferon, these all functions are seen, okay, when we indicate to the hepatic patient. Then we have Limburdine. It has got cytosine structure, meaning it is actually an analog of the cytosine, whereas Adifovir is the analog of the adenosine. Now, what are they going to do? Simple. What is meant by the analog? Which is having just same structure like that one. Suppose we have viral DNA. In the viral DNA, we have got adenine, cytosine, guanine, thymine, etc. So what is going to happen now? If we indicate Limburdine, it will compete with the cytosine here. Now the cytosine is available. If we indicate Limburdine, the cytosine which we indicated, Limburdine, it will come, it will bind here. It will compete this cytosine. You know, when there is a chain up mechanism, adenine, cytosine, guanine, thymine, they are actually chaining up, and like this, the replication will be done. Means the new chain will be formed, will be synthesized. So now what these Limburdine and Adifovir are doing, they're actually competing. If we give Limburdine, this will come and will occupy the space of viral cytosine. Now this is the Limburdine, which is cytosine, analog of the cytosine. Just like the viral cytosine, is if this cytosine comes here, then what will happen? Then further chain up won't be seen. One can say that this cytosine will cause the chain termination. It will inhibit prolongation of this chain. So like this, what will happen? Then the DNA synthesis is somehow disrupted. So like this, we inhibited the viral synthesis. Adifovir plays the same role. Adifovir is the adenosine analog. Now it is going to compete the viral adenosine. Now if we indicate this, it will come and it will bind here. What will happen then? Very simple. If this adenosine binds here, competes with the viral adenosine, this will cause the chain termination. There won't be the chain prolongation. So like this, Adifovir, Limburdine, they are terminating the chain. So if there is no prolongation of the DNA, you can say that there is no DNA synthesis at the end. So they are actually responsible to inhibit the DNA synthesis, and interferon are responsible to inhibit the RNA proteins and making this cell susceptible for the phagocytosis. Hope you got. If still you have confusion, drop in the comment box.